Let's face it, many of the things you spend money on aren't very enjoyable. It's not like you're going to brag about your car's new brakes on Instagram or the fact that your student loan debt has finally dropped below the six-figure threshold. When you're working with a limited budget, it might not be easy to feel good about putting so much money into less exciting objectives when you'd rather spend it on a trip, a new vehicle, or meals with friends. Even those experts who counsel sacrificing modest pleasures such as your daily coffee or avocado toast may be off the mark in their recommendations. On a recent edition of the Money Confidential podcast, financial expert Aja Dong says the entire notion of rice and beans and rice is wonderful in theory, but it's simply not feasible. It's just not possible at this time. After squeezing every penny she could pay off her credit cards, auto loan, and university loan, she ran out of money to put up for the future. After a while, I became dissatisfied with my achievements and started putting money aside to treat myself to things like a nice dinner or laser hair removal, which was my first goal. So how do you prioritize your financial objectives when you have so many choices, some of which look less appealing than others? Is it worth saving? What will you do with it? Do you want to pay off your debts? If you have a limited amount of cash on hand, here's how to prioritize your money. In this video, we've put together a list of expert recommendations on how to decide where your money should go. Welcome to the YouTube channel, and before we get started with the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Number 7. If you deviate from the plan, don't be too hard on yourself. In Anastasio's opinion, it's easy to feel bad about ourselves when we go over budget or overspend on a night out or Christmas shopping. Money management is a lifelong talent that you develop rather than a one-time exercise. You may minimize unneeded financial tensions or stress by being kind to yourself when your money practices aren't perfect. Number 6. Before you make a purchase, use the pause button. Take a breather before buying anything, particularly if you're shopping online. You could be tempted to take advantage of discounts. If you're ready to click the checkout button, take a break and come back later. You might even set the alarm for yourself to return in 24 hours. You could discover that the excitement and urge to spend has passed you by the following day. Number 5. Consider interest rates and returns. Anastasio advises that you prioritize based on the kind of debt you are now carrying. If you have high interest debt, such as credit card debt or a personal loan, it's a good idea to pay it off first before putting money into an investment account. The rate of interest you're paying is very certainly far greater than the rate of return you'd anticipate from your assets over the same period of time. If you have a low-interest vehicle loan or student loan, you may continue to make the minimum monthly payment and put all of your surplus money towards investment. Number 4. Get specific about longer-term goals. Thinking about your future and imagining what it may be like to live your ideal life is critical to gaining leverage on yourself to begin prioritizing investing for it, says Julia Carlson of Financial Freedom Wealth Management Group. If you have a large ambition like owning a house, retiring early, or taking a trip, and it is drawing you closer to it with every dollar you invest, you will begin to become thrilled about seeing your money grow as it helps you achieve your objective. Consider constructing a vision board or changing your screensaver to something that reminds you of your goal so that your focus is always on it. Number 3. Focus on one primary goal at a time. It may seem like a good idea to invest a little money here and there, a little towards saving, a little towards student debt, but focusing all of your efforts on finishing one objective and then moving on to the next with that feeling of achievement may be more beneficial. Lauren Anastasio, CFP and Director of Financial Counseling at Stash, says, "I have dealt with hundreds of folks seeking to pay off credit card debt who would pay a little more on each card every month rather than putting all their additional money towards one card at a time. You can remain focused and achieve your objectives faster if you choose one priority and devote all of your efforts to it." Number 2. Decide what's truly important to you. Your priorities may differ from those of financial experts. or from those of your friends. But if something is really essential to you, include it in your budget. Dang says, it's your money, it's your path. You need to consider if it's essential enough to divert that money to something that's more of a requirement, right? So, set aside a little bit of your money for a weekend's brunch with pals if you need it to feel good. You don't go overboard. You don't want to wind up justifying every possible cost and failing to meet any of your financial objectives. Number 1. Set a savings goal. Although it may be difficult to consider putting money away for saves, it is a good idea to strive to have some emergency reserves. If you experience an emergency, such as a boiler failure or being unable to work for an extended period of time, you should have emergency funds. You want to be able to pay for an unexpected repair, but you also want to be able to go by for a few months if you find yourself in a bind. If you've lost your job or broken up with your spouse and need some time to get back on your feet, you'll need more money than a new boiler or washing machine. Don't worry if you can't save it right away. It will serve as a goal to strive towards. The greatest strategy to save money is to make a monthly deposit into a savings account. After you've put aside your emergency money, you may want to explore the following saving goals. Purchase a vehicle without obtaining a loan. Having some extra money to rely on while on maternity or paternity leave, so you may take a vacation without worrying about the costs when you return. Personal finance is a critical component of not just managing your day-to-day financial demands, but also preparing for the future financial desires and objectives. Your long-term financial chances will be improved if you start learning about personal finance as soon as possible. This will help you when it comes to things like investing and retirement planning. If you grasp the fundamentals of personal finance, you will be more equipped to identify possibilities to improve your financial situation. This knowledge may assist you in creating a budget for immediate requirements, while also preparing for long-term financial objectives. That concludes today's video. We hope you like it. Feel free to let us know in the comments area on which topic we should make a video. Thank you for watching. Continue to do so, and don't forget to like the video, share, and subscribe to the channel.